good to have you back. A lot of energy adding up here. Thank you. Thank you. And let's have a small recap. You see, the ultimate understanding here in whatever we have been trying to grasp is that wherever attention, wherever energy goes, or wherever your attention goes, energy flows. That's it. So when the ego is rooted at the Brahma Granthi, we are rooted in the gross body. Both mean the same. Or when the ego is stuck up at this level, at the Ajna, we say that the Rudra Granthi is blocked. So these are the various levels of awareness we can relate to. That is, I'll give you a better example, right? We say that the Paramatma is inside, right? We have different sakhas or followers of Vishnu. They say Vishnu is Paramatma. Followers of the goddess, they say goddess is Paramatma. Paramatma manifests as the goddess. Paramatma manifests as Vishnu. Paramatma manifests as Shiva. That is the Brahman. We are talking about the ultimate truth. The ultimate truth is the Brahman or the Parabrahma, the original source. The Dvaita says, you are there. There is also this Paramatma. Advaita says, both are the same. You are Paramatma. What does this mean? It means that Paramatma has manifested as you and me. Just as there is a huge ocean, a small wave comes up. It travels a kilometer or so, and then it dies down. We are compared to that wave, which comes and goes. One wave is me, the other wave is you. Where are all these waves coming from? All these waves are cropping up from the ocean. The ocean is compared to the universal consciousness. This little person called I is compared to that little wave. You see, all these waves are coming up from the ocean. You see? There can be an ocean without a wave. It means that the universal consciousness can remain still like that without creating you and me. There can be an ocean without a wave. It means that the universal consciousness or the divine can be in a still state. These are some of the words which we know. That is why we use them. The ocean can remain still without generating you and me or without creating you and me. But there cannot be a wave without an ocean. So that means you and I cannot be in this creation without something, the huge ocean called the universal consciousness. That is the meaning of it. So how could some people, they say that Adi Shankaracharya could talk to the goddess. At that point of time, he was one with the goddess. He was one with that energy. And that is why he could play that, what do they say, Vaikuntapali we say. He could play with her. He could play that game with her. So, what does this Atma Vidya aim at? It aims at the evolution of ourselves, the self. Realization of the self. That is why we say the self is not coming from somewhere. We are not inventing the self or we are not discovering the self. It is there. We are allowing it to flow through us. We are trying to remove the layers so that the self could present its luminous nature through us. We are just trying to do that. And what does this piercing through these granthis mean? We are shifting our consciousness. Shifting our consciousness from identification with the cross body to the astral body. This term we some of us may know, which is the subtle body, nothing but the subtle body. We are shifting our consciousness or our identification with the gross self to the astral self, or then to the spiritual self, which is slightly higher. And then from the spiritual self, we are shifting it to the universal consciousness. Slowly, step by step, we are getting rid of all this luggage, which we are used to, which we are very much used to. So we have also seen that we have to cross the three states or the three qualities in us, the tamoguna, rajoguna, and sattvaguna. The gunas also we have to overcome. We find somebody very soft and very smooth, very good natured. That person is supposed to be sattvic. If he has to identify himself with the universal consciousness, he has to go beyond that also. Each one is a pattern, you see. Rajoguna is a pattern full of action. Tamoguna is a pattern again, full of lethargy, things like that. Sattvaguna with the subtle natures, soft naturedness. All these patterns we must go beyond these patterns. And they say, we have ahamkara, the ego. There is also something called sattvika ahamkaram, that I am soft, that I know better than somebody else. That is called sattvika ahamkaram. There before we touch this Rudra Granthi, people who are going through this, we say that, why is that person like that? That is rubbish. He shouldn't have been like that. He shouldn't have behaved like that. That is absolutely wrong. But the thing is, as and when we try to, or when we start trying to judge that person or trying to decide who he should be, we are interfering with his karma. Then his karma will turn towards us. That is the problem here. Why we should not try to judge somebody is, he's behaving in that way because he's working through his own filters, right? His filters are his samskaras. That person could be in a very good position or in a position where he should be telling us. We can understand that. But suddenly his karma crops up. His desires crop up. His desires crop up, and then he'll be behaving in a different way than how he should be. And when we start judging that person, or when we start analyzing that person, his karma will turn towards us. So that is the reason why we should not interfere in somebody else's karma, as we are in the process of getting rid of our own making or our own doings. We talk about the Brahman. We were saying that what is wrong there's nothing is wrong here. Nothing is wrong. It's only our level of awareness, that's all. When the Brahman, when Vishnu is identified as Brahman for say some eggs, the Brahman has some gunas or some attributes. We say that is reaching the Saguna Brahman. The Brahman again has some attributes of that of the Vishnu. Vishnu, who is responsible for all the sustenance. I say Ishvara is Brahman. For me, say Ishvara is the Brahman. So I am giving the attributes of Ishvara, which are those of the dissolution and nothingness or things like that, to whatever we can understand, to that of Brahman. I see Brahman as Ishvara. This is called Saguna Brahman. Saguna. You are there, almost there. But since we are used to understanding attributes only, without attribute, it is difficult. You see, I have a name. I have a beautiful soul inside. But for people to understand and interact, I have an identity here. Unfortunately, that identity takes away the whole of me. So since we are used to labeling people or things or situations, so that form of worship is saguna. Those people are worshipping the Brahman with some gunas or with some qualities or attributes. And that is the reason why in Atma Vidya, we are focusing on the dot, the central dot inside the spiritual heart of the Angushtamatra Purusha. Now tell me, what attributes can we give to that dot? That Suddha Tejas. At the most, we can say it's so bright. It is shining so bright. Or we can say it's like a flame. Beyond that, you cannot give any attribute to that. And this learning is the ultimate learning, because gradually, slowly and steadily, we are trying to live a life where we will stop giving attributes to people, things, and situations. That is the meaning of this Atma Vidya in this Kathopanishad, where the identity is shifted from cross to subtle, subtle to the causal body to the universal consciousness, to the Brahman, who's inside you, me, everywhere. And where is the need to search for Brahman outside? Okay. And now, yesterday, we have seen that there are many levels of consciousness, which in the outer world, which are there in the outer world, which are there in the inner world as well, inside us as well. So this is the earthly plane, we said. Bhulokam, Bhuvarlokam, Shuvarlokam. These three layers can be compared, or these three lokas are the same as our chakras. They are the lokas where we have blocks, where we are limited to a certain level of understanding. So this earthly plane could be equated to the Mooladhara chakra. And then the next one, Bhuvarlokam, to the Swadhisthana chakra. Om Bhurlokam, Bhuvarlokam, Suvarlokam. Suvarlokam is the Manipura chakra. So the next, see, we are starting the meditation in the Anahata chakra, right? So it means that consciously we have crossed all these three lokas, and we are bestowing all our attention in the Anahata chakra, in the next loka. We have also seen here Bhulokam, Bhuvarlokam, Suvarlokam. So we are meditating. The Angushtamatra Purusha is meditating in the Anahata chakra. And in the yogis, some of them, they try to meditate in the Ajna chakra. Some in the Ajna chakra, right? That is, they are called the Kriya yogis. Some are focusing here, and we are meditating in Anahata chakra. It is said that when a person leaves the body, when he leaves through the Anahata chakra, there is no rebirth again. There is no rebirth again. And there are you see, yesterday there was a discussion as to one of us was saying that I was so happy to understand that the lokas are there inside. So what is the beauty of this? What is the beauty of understanding this? For example, a pyramid is being built. A 5-ton or an 8-ton stone has to be taken to the top of the pyramid physically using elephant. They were using elephants. They were using slaves to take it to the top of the pyramid. And after some time, they have invented some ways of having a technique. They were using a technique. They would just roll they would have ramps along, and they would roll the stone along the ramp to the top. So a technique simplifies it doesn't need much effort of ours. So in a same way, this technique called the Atma Vidya, wherein the Angushtamatra Purusha sits in the 8-petal lotus, the Dahra Kasha, and listens to that Omkar, is a technique which takes us just like in an elevator to where we should be going. So that is the beauty of this Atma Vidya. So then, as we were listening to the story of Nachiketa, Nachiketa sat at the abode, at the gate of the Yama's abode. He spent 3 days and 3 nights there. And Lord Yama was very much unhappy. He was very sad that he had to keep his guest, who is the son of a Brahman, waiting there. Brahmin is one who has understood the Brahman, the Paramatma himself. So he didn't feel good having this little Nachiketa had to wait at the doorway for 3 days and 3 nights. And so he has given him 3 boons. The first one the little one asked for was that his father should accept him. The second one was a fire ritual or a yajna or a homa or a havan, which Lord Yama has explained to Nachiketa. This ritual, when performed, would free one of the fear of death. And that would take him to a loka called the Svarga Loka, where there is no fear, the fear of death. That means where Yama was not there. And that could be, we could relate that fire, that physical havan, could be related to the inner fire, which would take us to a loka or a state of mind where there is no fear of death. That was the second wish Lord Yama has given. And the third wish was the Moksha Vidya, which we were trying to learn, understand. And then, if we have time, I can take you. Now, I think I will leave here. And tomorrow I'll take you through an interesting session as well. Any discussions, please?
Rajalakshmi, ma'am, let me ask one.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. See, when we are talking about judgment and criticism, so when you are not supposed to do judgment and criticism, that's what everybody says, yes, in the classes or in the spirituality and all. So what does that mean? Because every day when you woke up until to the time that you go to bed, every second I feel that we are doing a lot of judgments and criticisms and whatever it has been happening with either within your self-talk or when you are talking to the other people. So from your perspective, what do you suggest? Okay, so means how do we reduce those two things within us?
What I do is, what I personally, it's very normal, right? It's very normal for all of us to over and over get back to that same situation of judging and analyzing people. We have limited energy. These are the energy leakages, right? That's how we should understand that. These are the energy leakages. The moment we focus our attention on somebody else, our energy starts flowing there. There is an energy exchange again. Their karma will start flowing through to us, and our energy is leaking in that direction. So what I do is, if at all some thought creeps in of that, 10 minutes I would sit and meditate. That's I would just turn inward again. And that is the punishment I give to myself. 10 minutes I would sit and again rewind and focus on the inner self. That is how, there's no other way. There is no other way. We know the theory, but this happens on and on again. So just even a moment of silence, just look at the Paramatma, listen to that Omkar. And the best thing I would suggest is, as we go to our offices and workplaces, we meet our own people, we should start listening to Omkar coming from their source. Then their outer body would vanish for us, slowly and slowly. You can see the difference, you know. You can just experience, you can test it on anybody. Suppose there is a very difficult person, you are not able to handle that person. Or somebody in our immediate family is suffering. Or somebody in our immediate family is a problem for us. Just try listening to Omkar coming from their spiritual heart center, inside their Angushtamatra Purusha. Try seeing them as an inch man and try listening to that Omkar which is coming from the source. That Omkar will also trigger that person. It will energize that person. And it will also lighten us up. You can just experiment on this. And the difficult person, even in the office, you know, you just try listening to Omkar from that person's heart. The next day, the person would behave in a soft and subtle way. The thing is, these are some of the abilities we will be tapofal. This is a tapofal which happens as we are meditating. And we are not supposed to use this for harming anybody. That is the crux of it. Underlying, the thing to be underlined is, I was telling you to try and experiment, right? It is because I'm sure that your abilities have improved. There's no other way. Once you meditate, you have to get your result. That result is already generated. And I'm suggesting you to use it in a particular direction to alleviate the suffering of a person or to help the other person improve. And this should be used for the benefit of the other person or for the benefit of the world. And that is why the sankalpa we make is, we are giving this whole tapofal for the loka kalyanam, for the welfare of the world. And under no condition should we use it for ourselves. The moment we start using it for ourselves. And that is the reason why most people, even if they have an understanding, even if they have the ability, they still undergo the suffering. You know, even this Kunti Devi, she was asking Lord Krishna to help her be in suffering, because only suffering was helping her to purify herself. It was only when she was suffering that she was remembering the Lord. It was only then the Lord was coming to her. So that is the reason why even great saints, they undergo the suffering. They do not use all these abilities for alleviating their own sufferings. They will not do that. Hope I'm clear, Ashok.
Yeah. Thank you. Namrata ma'am, you can please go.
No, in addition to that, I mean, beautiful question. The person doesn't really have to be interacting with you. It could be like somebody whom you just know to be suffering. And so the ability to hear our own Omkara is pretty clear now, because we can sense it, we can feel it, we can feel the vibrations. And many a times, in the silence is when you're just drawn to just the silence. You just want to sit in silence. You don't want to hear anything. You just want to sit by yourself, right? That's what you're actually doing. You're again going into that heart center. But when you're tuning into somebody else's energy field, you have to be at a pretty
Higher,
uh,
higher level.
higher vibration to be able to even penetrate that, right? Because otherwise it'll be such a mess, right? Anybody can do anything.
Yeah, I got your question. Like that
Yeah,
is the reason why we invoke the gurus, right?
right,
For this process, we need a little of Shraddha. We need a little of detachment,
right.
and we need the Guru's grace. No, the very intention. You are not meddling with the person. Please
No,
understand that.
right,
We are
right.
not meddling with their energies. We are only trying to help them. So
Right.
we do this through the medium of Guru. We don't do it directly. In any of this, the Guru is there, It is not you
Yeah,
and me. He is definitely at the level of the Brahman. So
right.
our intention is to help the person.
Yes.
Because by saying a person is difficult, no, I mean that we can see his problem. We can identify his problem. We can identify his suffering. We can see the area where he's suffering. That would be very clearly evident for us when we interact with a person, even without any effort. Without effort, you can see the
But
person.
when we see a person suffering, don't we know that he's chosen the suffering to overcome certain karma? So we're meddling with somebody else's karma when we're actually
No,
hearing.
that is it. He will undergo the suffering,
Okay.
but without his knowledge.
Okay.
This
Okay. This is
energy
at a
will
very
help
high
him.
vibrational level.
Yes. So
This is
instead of when we see a difficult, when you think the person is difficult, for example, instead of cursing him, or instead of feeling very, very unhappy with that person, that is one kind of thought we will be generating. The
and
other
we'll go
kind
and tell 10 other people. We'll go and tell 10 other people. Look what he's doing. Look what he's doing.
immediate thought that we would be generating. The immediate thought that would occur to us is, see, this is nonsense, this is rubbish. This fellow, he has to go to hell, is what we would tend to say. So consciously, the effort we would make is, see, he has a Brahman inside. See, so many layers. He's suffering with his ego. You can see his ego.
Yeah.
Or we can see his low esteem. We can see his insecurities. So we are making a request to the Brahman, who's in him also, who's in us. Both are the same, right? We are addressing that Brahman to
elevate him, elevate his,
to show his presence in that person.
Yeah.
That's it. It's only a prayer, right? It's only a prayer. Where are we meddling with his karma?
Okay. Yeah. And then if the grace of the Guru is there, then only it can happen. Otherwise, even if we can only send.
We are still human, no? We are still very, very human. We tend to fall back. We tend to just fall down the ladder. So,
and plus, I think when we focus on ourselves, then we don't pull in their energy, we don't pull in their karma. We
where do we
become
have
like
the time?
cleansed. Yeah.
Where do we have the time? We are just left with a little time. That's what occurs to me immediately. Oh, I don't have time for all this, That's something more.
Yeah. Focusing on the self, that's the key.
But Guru Garu says that even a sannyasi has a responsibility of the society. No, initially the thing I would understand is, even a sannyasi should work, was what I was thinking. But later on, sannyas is being equidistant from the center. Sannyas is radius. Yes, being equidistant from the center. See, we have many situations. We have our immediate family. We have the workplace. You have ourselves. We have ourselves. So many things around us, We have to be the soul, the Atma. When you're focused at the Atma, all these situations tend to be equidistant. That is what is meant by sannyas. Sannyas.
Okay.
So even a sannyasi has the responsibility of for the society. It means that we have to pray or wish for the upliftment of every soul, every atma. That is the responsibility. And there is the prayer. And there is where we are talking about the other person. It is with that perspective we are talking about the other
Yeah.
person. We are
Because
not
we have a responsibility now. Even now, we are elevating so that we can eventually be in a capable place to send these high vibrations to outside the world, right? To make the world
Yes.
peaceful.
So you see, the simplest thing that that has happened, the best thing and the simplest thing is, I always see my guru holding my hand, even as I'm talking to you, he's holding my hand here.
Mm.
See that sense of peace, calm, and relaxation we have when you know the divine source. Because I have identified myself with my guru, right? Who's the Brahman? Who's a manifestation of the Brahman? I feel that the Brahman himself has come in this form to help me. So when my hand is in his hand, when he is holding my hand, where will the other's karma affect me? And where will I have a negative thought? Never. Never. That is one way. That is one way of helping ourselves also.
Correct.
Cleansing ourselves.
One of the other discussions that I had very recently, and that is very apt for this particular question, Namrataji, and also Rajalakshmi ma'am. So we are talking about duality, oneness, and all of this stuff. But when you are going to feel yourself that this is not your body and this is not your mind, when you are going to accept that one highly and practice that every time, that this is not your body, this is not your mind, that particular moment, then you are going to stop judging and criticizing the people. So I had a discussion with one of the other masters. So he kind of asked, I asked the same question because I didn't know that you were talking today about this, but I asked the same question to him. And he gave me that once you practice this, and once you feel this is not your body and this is not your mind, that means that you are going to be moving towards, elevating towards oneness. When you started going through that journey, that means that you are not judging anyone and you are not criticizing anyone, and even you are not criticizing yourself. So that is what you are going to start with, your self-compassion. So then you are going to evolve.
Yeah, you merge into the Brahman and the others. So there's no other.
Yeah.
The self and the other are the same. It's like there's no other.
Yeah.
There's no
that.
if there's no other, then there's no.
Yes, Namrata.
Yeah.
Yes, Namrata, please go ahead.
No, as soon as you think that way and you go towards merging with the Brahman, which is oneness, aham brahmasmi, and then there's no other, right? The other is also you only. You see the self in everybody. So the self is Brahman and that is Brahman. So I am that I am. Tattvamasi. Right?
Yes. So, but what happens is, since we are in a human form, the other person doesn't know that you are realized, or you are trying to understand the concept or elevate yourself. So he might be in a mess, So we will be in the midst of that mess. So the immediate thought, that would be a negative thought for us. Immediately it would be that, why is he behaving like this? That is the immediate thought. It's okay. It's okay. And the second step, the immediate step that we should be taking is think of this whole concept. And over and over when we do it, that becomes a reality.
Oh my God, I'm brought to tears with what today's discussion is. I can't control. It's like yesterday, day before yesterday. I'm just
I
So
know.
grateful. I have no words.
To Guru Garu, because such a
Yeah.
complex subject, he has made it easy for us now.
And you
Ah.
can feel the oneness, right?
Yes,
Because that
yes,
judgment
yeah.
is like you're thinking, why is the logic mind even playing a part in this whole thing? Because you're coming all from the heart. Why are you
Yes.
logically analyzing anything? Because it's just the heart that's operational, right?
Yes, yes. And we have, I think it's Praveen. Is it Praveen? Praveen, are you here? KP is
Yes.
Praveen, right? Oh,
After
good, good.
you,
Nice to have you, Praveen. Praveen is another wonderful soul. And if at all we go to the Himalayas, the Jageshwar, he is the best person to take us there, you know. He's such a wonderful soul he is. Thank you, Tammy.
Thank-
And he here presents one thing. When you're wronged, you know two things. One is, it is due to some past misdeed of yours that you're wronged. Two, the one who wrongs you has to reap the consequences, right? And here I would say that if a person has done something wrong, and which he should not be doing, it means that the law of karma has started off already. The moment he does something, the law gets into action already. And no person should be punished twice for his doings. We should not punish him again, because already he will be reaping his own harvest. In addition to that, if we start cursing that person, it means we are adding some more karma to that and to ourselves. Whether you like it or not, the cosmic law takes over. This is what Guru Garu has said. By reacting, you are only incurring fresh karma and inciting your fellow man to do wrong further. You're adding more to his baggage of karma, and it becomes heavier for him. And by that, he does more fresh karma. So if you forgive, your peace is retained. Whatever happens to him or does not is not your concern. This is from Guru Garu. No, this so beautiful, Praveen. Thank you.
That's beautiful. But then we don't come back to another life, right? Because we've forgiven and our karmas are over and we don't have to come back into that play.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, because we have forgiven, and from our end, that karma finishes. So
Yes.
if this is the last life, then this will be the last life, no matter what. But consciously don't create any more new karma. Just keep forgiving everybody.
And just don't be concerned about whether this will be the last life or whether this should be the last life. All these things, just leave it. Just leave it and flow with it. Flow with whatever little we know. That's all. And that's that we are on the path, right? We are on the path.
Yeah.
Ahameva gamyam, ahameva gamanam, ahameva partha, ahameva pantha, patha, ahameva patha, ahameva pantha. The Vidya, the Brahman, he says that you are on the right track, you know, I am the path. I am the one who is taking the path. I'm everything. I'm the destination. Everything. So just don't be worried if this will be the last life. Because that adds pressure to us, you know.
Yeah, when Ramana Maharshi came to know about his cancer, he said that yes, because even the other so-called gurus, it is not my body, so why do I need to worry about it? Because let it go. I don't even worry about that one. I don't want to take care of it. So he just left it like that, and he never taken care of that cancer. So he knows that this is my last life, because when Ramana Maharshi did that. So that is how actually he did. And even a lot of other gurus and who did that, they know that this is going to be their last life, and they never felt that this body, I don't need to take care of it.
By listening to or by participating in such a session, you know, if you just play a movie, you will have thousands here. And the very fact that few of us are sitting here, it means that we are just a step away, just Guruji has said. I was wondering, how could he say that? Now I understand. It is because people cannot even sit through this, you know. They cannot sit through such a session. So we are just a step away. That makes us feel so light. Let us accept that. Yeah. Pranams to Guru Garu.
Thank you. Thank you.
Over to Parmeshwaran sir.
Omkara bindu samyuktam nityam gayandi yoginaha kamadam mokshadam cheva Omkaraya namo namaha. What you are discussing, first thing, forget all seriousness about spirituality and understanding Brahman. Simple as Bhagavad Gita says, starting point. Accept the people as they are. That is Bhagavad Gita simplest, This is, we don't know which level we are operating, each person in different level consciousness we are operating from, which chakra, all we can explain afterwards, like postmortem. But who are where, we do not know. That only Divya Drishti, very few can. We are not at least, I think, to that level, okay. Yes, for our own understanding, these discussions are really good. We have to. So first accept everyone as they are. Accept the situation as it is. Once we learn to accept the person as it is, then a day will come, we start appreciating others. Straight away appreciating that he is also Brahman, I am also Brahman, etc. In your office and the Vyavahara, it may not happen for everyone. That is why Japa Tapa all helps us. Yes. It may you may say, that's why my guru once said, I remember very well. You may fall in the ditch, but don't fall in the same ditch again and again. That's all. So when you're going in the same route, there is a ditch. So take precautions. Yeah, okay, it is there. I have to be cautious. Like that, when we proceed. And say that is why, see, the Namaskara Mudra itself is accepting actually. How, thanks to pandemic, now everyone is doing. Instead of shaking hand, we are talking about exchange of energy, bad energy coming. The shake hand itself is very bad. And see what is in your mind when you are shaking, and then I will see that with the grinding your teeth or smilingly, yeah, I love you, man. In the heart you can shake hand, but all those we don't know. When you are doing here, you are accepting that the God in or Brahman, whatever name we call, in you and me is the same. So like that, when we go, okay, that's then we will not add to our stress or karma. This is my little things, real life I'm seeing. I'm able to laugh at things now, which was not possible 30 years back in office situation and all that. So inside and outside are different. Yes. And that's why meditation, I am talking about mudras also, will help us. So when you keep one palm over the other, most of the meditation you see there, but fingers will be different, crossing or otherwise, but one palm over the other, Bhairava Mudra or Bhairava Mudra, whether left or right, both are good. See, when you are keeping the palm like this, our front side, all centers are activated because of the palm. And this is connected, and back side is connected to our spinal nervous center. So all those chakras, that energy centers are connected through the 72,000 nadis are there, and that is why. So when you sit like this, one over the other, plus this is Dhyana Mudra, that's why Dhyana position. And if you do this Chin Mudra or Jnana Mudra, it is called, when you keep like this, on that you keep Jnana Mudra. So this is the best position for starters, at least for meditation. So that Jnana, concentration also happens, knowledge also comes, the divine knowledge, and you are in a receiving mode like this. So this is one practical thing, mudra, why. And those who know about mudra, whichever you are using with a particular idea, can continue. There is no wrong or right, but this will add to the benefit. That's all. Add on, right? Okay. So let us sit. Before that, we will do just 5 cycles of Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama. Taking 1 or 2 deep breaths in the starting. Let go of all the tension, stress, everything. Be here and now. Come back from the outer world to the inner world. Throw out all the negativity. Let us go for alternative nostril breathing quickly. Say 5 cycles. Start from the left.
Yeah, masters, please go through your last cycle. And then start, once I start my recording of the Omkaram, then you can actually visualize your Angustamata Purusha of Inchman, and who is going to be starting from your Muladhara and traveling through all the chakras and taking the Pradakshina in your Sahasrara and then coming down and settling in your Anahata. And as always, Rajalakshmi asking us to visualize that he is sitting in that lotus, 8-petal lotus, and then you are hearing the Omkaram from that instrument. And if you want, you can see in his heart the blue dot, if you can, and start doing your best. Thank you.
Om